Hi, my name is Jill Jones. Thanks for joining me. I'm a volunteer at TMC For Seniors. And today I'm going to be talking about sleep. Specifically, how to improve your sleep to be well and stay healthy. And so I have this presentation in two parts. The first part, I'll be talking about how sleep works in your body, the different stages of sleep, and why it's important to get the right amount of each of those stages of sleep. Then the second part is about habits for optimal sleep. So I'll talk about how you can actually train your brain to prepare for sleep every night so that it becomes automatic and you get good quality sleep every night. Now, if you're struggling with sleep right now, you may want to think of this as learning a new skill, because it'll take practice until you get to where you want to be. So let's take a look at the sleep stages. On the left-hand side, those are the names of the stages, and they represent the activity of the electrical activity in your brain. And so when you start out awake, close your eyes. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to drop down into the light stage of sleep. And at that stage, your body temperature starts to go down, your blood pressure goes down, your heart beats slower, your breathing slower, you're just more in a more relaxed state. Your metabolism is regulating itself, and memory processing gets started. So your brain is taking those memories that you learned during the day, learnings, and from the short-term place in the brain and moving it to longer-term storage. And that all starts in the light stage of sleep. And then gradually we move down into a much deeper stage of sleep, and it is the most regenerative stage, because this is where your body is repairing itself. It's repairing your body's tissues, it's building new bone, it's building new muscle, it's strengthening your immune system. It's a very important stage of sleep. The other thing that happens is it's cleaning out your brain. It's flushing out toxins that accumulated during the day. So as you can see in that first part of sleep, you get a longer period of this regenerative period. And so we spend maybe, 20 minutes to half an hour at that deep sleep, and then start moving back up. We start waking up a little bit. The brain activity is picking up. And so that whole first cycle there took about 90 minutes to a little longer. So what happens is we cycle through all of these stages about 5 times during the night. So I'll move up to a dream state, dream a little bit, not very long, and then start dropping back down into the deep stage of sleep, and then again move back up again. And what you'll see if you look at this pattern, most of our deep sleep is at the very beginning here, first couple hours. And then as we move up, you'll see the dream sleep occurs mostly towards the end of our sleep. And you'll also notice that dream sleep is very close to being awake. So there is a lot of activity in the brain when you're dreaming, just as if you were awake. So if you wake up while you're dreaming, that's when you may remember your dream. Now, there are guidelines for how much time we should spend in each of these phases because they all have their different roles. As far as deep sleep, it's critical to get 1.5 hours or 2 hours if you can. For dreaming sleep, it's important to get about another hour and a half, because also what's happening there as far as memories go, your memories are, new memories are colliding with old memories all the way throughout your life, and they're forming these associations. And it's also helping solidify those memories in your brain so that you remember things. Light sleep, we spend most of our time in light sleep. And there's no real number that we put on that one, except for the whole night, you want to get about 8 hours sleep. Now, it says 7 to 9 there, but it's better if you can get 8, especially if you're in your senior years, but no less than 7 hours sleep. Now, why is deep sleep so important? Well, I said your immune system is strengthened. There's a study that's recent from Germany that shows how these T cells, and T cells are the ones in your immune system that go after the invaders and kill them. So we want our T cells healthy. Well, T cells are more effective if you spend enough time in that deep sleep. The other thing, there's other cells in there too, other parts of your immune system that get a boost. So you need deep sleep in order to fight off infections. That's the bottom line. You need to have that deep sleep to fight infections. Now this picture shows your brain and how the cells in your brain kind of open up and create a space so that fluid can wash through, wash in and wash out, and take away the toxins that built up for the day. That fluid is in your spinal cord in your brain. It's called cerebrospinal fluid. So it flushes in, cleans out toxins, and some of those toxins are beta amyloid and tau. We now know with the latest research that that's what it cleans out of the brain. And so those two proteins are implicated in Alzheimer's disease. And the experts are saying now that not getting enough of this deep sleep, not getting this brain cleaning done each night is a risk factor for Alzheimer's. As far as REM sleep, as far as dreaming sleep, there's a lot of activity in the brain. It's just as active as if you were awake, except it's different activities. It's different parts of the brain that are active. So for instance, if you go over here to this front area, the prefrontal cortex, that's pretty quiet, very little activity there. And the top of the brain is where the motor cortex is and the sensory cortex. That's where we take in signals from the outside world. That's not happening. The signals to cause all this action here are coming from inside the brain itself. We've got all these memories that are replaying during dreaming sleep. And in fact, our emotions over here are 30% more active when you're dreaming than when you're awake. So emotions are very reactive during this time. Emotional memories are very reactive. And I said that we're not picking up signals on movement or anything. Well, we do have the perception of movement. So while you're dreaming, you have the perception of the movement, and you also have vivid imagery. So the signals, like I said, are all coming from inside, but you have the visual and the spatial imagery that give you the idea that you're really living inside this dream. It's an opportunity for you to work through different emotions. And what they've shown in studies is that a lot of people who have an emotional day will be working out those emotions during their dreams. And it's a safe place to do that because the noradrenaline and stress chemicals are turned off. So you can play out these different emotional scenarios in a place where you don't have to worry about turning on stress chemicals, and it won't be doing any damage to your body. So the way this works is it regulates your mood. Very important for balancing your mood. So I said this is the sort of the gold standard for a healthy sleep pattern. What happens when we get older? Well, older adults have more fragmented sleep. It doesn't look nice and clean like that. We wake up more often. It could be pain or tossing and turning. It could be getting up to go to the bathroom a few times. But an important thing here is that a lot of us are not getting enough of that deep sleep. You know, maybe 20 minutes or so. Some people don't get any. But it doesn't have to be that way, because a healthy older adult can get the amount of sleep they had when they were younger. It will have a different distribution, but they still could get the necessary deep sleep that they need and the necessary dreaming sleep that they need if they make sleep a priority and work on it. And try different sleep habits in order to make sure you're getting healthy sleep. Now, how do you know whether you're getting good sleep or not? One way to tell is how you feel. How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? How do you feel throughout the day? Do you feel tired? Do you want to sit down and take a nap all the time? Are you pushing yourself? That's one way to tell if you're getting good sleep or not. Another way is to wear a sleep tracker to actually measure it, and I do that. I'll show you mine at the end. But let's get into the sleep habits. So for optimal sleep, I summarized it into these three because they're the big ones. Have a relaxing bedtime ritual that you go through night after night. This is where you're conditioning your mind. And it's ideal if you can go to bed the same time every night. Like for me, it's 9 o'clock. I'll show you my routine. But when you have steps that you go through to get ready for bed and fall asleep and have a relaxing routine, it conditions your mind, and then it starts to become automatic. The other important thing, of course, is to have a comfortable room. Our body temperature drops, so we're more comfortable in a cool room. We just like it dark and quiet, most of us. That's more comfortable. And then it's important to have a strategy for that restless mind if you've got a lot of worries on your mind. So this is my sleep routine. I go to bed at 9 o'clock, look at the clock at 9 o'clock, turn off all my electronics. I set the temperature down, do my bathroom stuff. And then typically what I'll do is read for a while. And I try to read things that are distracting, that take me away from what might be bothering me during the day. Other things I might do are a gratitude exercise or a compassion meditation or something, because I'm planting in my mind the thoughts that I want to have there whenever I go to sleep. So I'll get a better quality sleep. And then my lights go out at 10 o'clock, and I generally don't set an alarm unless I have to be somewhere. So that's an example of a routine. Now for those thoughts that may be bothersome or that restless mind that we have, I like guided imagery, because I think if you play a short guided imagery tape, it can take your mind off of this stuff. And I found, to me, this is my very favorite set of guided imagery that I found. It's all free for download. And to find it, you just Google UCLA guided meditations. Just Google UCLA guided meditations, and this page will come up on the computer. And you will see the names of the different meditations and how long they are, 3 minutes, 9 minutes. They're not too long. There's one 19 minutes. And they have instructions. You could play it on your computer, but they have instructions set up for you to download it on your computer or your phone. They even have some in Spanish, and they give you the transcript for them. Now, the thing that I'm so impressed with is this lady's voice. It is really amazing, very calming and relaxing. So I don't even care what she's saying. I could just listen to her voice. It makes me fall asleep. So that would be my one type of advice for that restless mind. And so the last thing I'd like to show you is, if you're really serious about knowing your sleep patterns and wanting to do the best quality sleep you can for yourself, I would recommend getting a sleep tracker. The one I'm wearing is it's a Fitbit Charge 3. They have a Charge 4 out there now. But I've been tracking my patterns, and they've greatly improved since I've been trying different routines at night. And so now I have a pretty good sleep pattern for my age. I get enough of the deep sleep, I get enough dreaming sleep, and I'm in bed long enough. So, it doesn't come out that way every night, but I know I have some stressful nights. But for the most part, I'm getting a good quality sleep. So that's it. The last thing I would like to add is that I hope you have sweet dreams. Thank you.